Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over gold star cards in this video, and we're just going to be talking about the history of them, what their current prices are at, and yeah, in general, just kind of, talking about the legacy of gold star cards and why they're so sought after. And so yeah, we're just going to be going over all of the gold star cards, starting with the least expensive ones and then moving on to you know, some of the more expensive ones. So price charting, I believe, it only has data up to 2021, so we can kind of see this, this slow growth of Gold Star cards. It seems like in 2021, a lot of them reached highs, and then following that period, they kind of went back down to a low. If you don't know, 2021 there was a big hype period where Logan Paul kind of initiated almost this kind of Pokemon bubble. Although it wasn't just driven by Logan Paul, he kind of started it and then it just spread like wildfire. We are in a similar bubble, I would say, although not similar in the sense that it's lasted much longer and it's not caused by any one person. It feels like it's more caused by the Pocket app, and just a mixture of people realizing that illustration rares and special illustration rares now kind of exist in the Pokemon space, and like these kind of more fun arts, I think, really just initiated the modern rush into Pokemon cards that are modern. But gold stars are also affected by that because money, even if money moves into modern cards, they're also going to move backwards, right, into a lot of these older stuff. And I think gold stars are a great example of this. The Suicune is around $400. One of the okay looking ones. Next we have Registeel. Looks like around the same price raw. And also, all of these are going to be insanely expensive in a PSA 10, simply due to the fact that it's really hard to find. The populations for these are just, almost impossible to find these. You can see the last sale was last year, it looks like. There's only 2 sales a year in 2024. In 2023, there were actually probably more sales. But yeah, Registeel, Gold Star, not even one of the more popular Pokemon, but having a gold star from this era is just so coveted, and people collect gold stars. They try and make gold star collections, so extremely hard card to find. And it's not even the fact that the PSA 10s are so hard to find because people didn't take care of their cards. The printing quality, oftentimes you can just get them packed fresh and they're going to be dinged up, they're going to be messed up here or there. I think Cool Trainer Ryan pulled like a gold star card at some point and it didn't really didn't come out that clean, which definitely can happen. Next we have Flareon Gold Star. This is one of my favorite ones, actually. I like the posing of Flareon here. Even though Flareon's not one of my favorite evolutions, I think it still looks so fun. And I believe some of the Gold Stars are also Delta Species cards. Not this one, but let's see. I don't know. We'll get to them at some point. Next we have Regirock, again around that $400 price. Now, personally, would I be buying into Gold Stars now in general? Maybe not. I would probably wait for the current hype cycle to end. Hopefully you'll see some of these prices kind of drop and fluctuate. The supply of these gold star cards is now kind of set in stone. Pun intended with Regirock there. But, there's not really going to be more that enter the market. Maybe there's going to be a few every year that enter the market just because maybe some people are opening some of these older sets, although I really doubt they are. At this point, I'm sure the pack price of these is like well above the price of the actual gold star cards. That's why you always buy sealed, guys. But yeah, moving on to Regice. Again, the three Regis, not very popular, obviously, so not going to be high up here. And then you're seeing some kind of like lower tier evolutions, and Suicune. Interestingly, Raikou, I would say Raikou and Suicune are probably around the same price. I sorted by price chartings, lowest price to highest price, and then just clicked on the links in that order. So it might be a little off. I would probably, group Suicune, Raikou, and Entei together. Obviously, you can see Entei is also kind of up here. Oh, this one is really cool. I like Entei's pose here that he's doing. A lot of these Gold Star cards are very unique. I think, Entei's shiny is also very cool. He's got the black mask, almost looking like Doctor Doom there. But yeah, really, really cool card. Would love to have some of these in my collection, but man, finding these is insanely hard. Celebi, this is one of the coolest ones, I would say. This comes from Crystal Guardians, a really legendary set. Yeah, really hard to find. I like the pose he's hitting, almost like a dab. He's dabbing at you, and he's time traveling. But yeah, again, they're all kind of reaching all-time highs. You can see in like July, they really almost all of them spiked to the same amount. And I do think they were definitely 100% affected by the big boom. You can even see I would say the boom really took off in like December, January. So you can see them they kind of went up. It looks like they went back down in April and then generally trending back up now, which is interesting. I wonder if they're going to dip again. I guess we'll see. Are all of them kind of following the same pattern? Somewhat. I think it varies. Like Groudon has been a very consistent one, it looks like, although right now it is seeing new highs. Groudon Gold Star, really, really cool one. I like the way he's almost reaching out at you. Super, super fun. And the next we have Jolteon. This one's also really good. The way he's jumping out of the portrait almost. I love the hollow effect as well with the lightning bolt in the background. Very cool. And again, this is reaching another kind of all-time high. It looks like the price didn't fluctuate that much since the beginning of the boom, but recently it's been catching on and kind of moving up. I feel like all of these graphs are somewhat similar in the way they're moving, but not entirely the same, which is it's very interesting to see. So you have Alakazam. This one saw a lot of growth. Wow. Alakazam, Gold Star, down in the 350s, now up in 740s. This one's fun. I don't think it's my favorite personally. I don't think Alakazam was ever my favorite Pokemon though, to be fair. I think it is pretty cool. And one thing to know about Gold Star cards is that they haven't really made a gimmick like this again, right? They haven't really reprinted Gold Star cards except for I think 2 exceptions, if I remember correctly. So they are pretty unique to the era that they're at, and they're such a cool concept that I love that they kept them kind of exclusive like that. They almost feel like megas or like the stellar crown kind of gimmick, but they're a lot cooler. I'm not gonna lie. I think they're a lot more interesting. Metagross over here, really, really fun. I really like this guy. Flying at you. Gold Metagross just goes hard. You can't convince me otherwise. Again, extremely high PSA 10 prices, but even just raw, it's pretty expensive. Wow, really jumped up here in December? January of 2025, yeah, interesting. So it was also just kind of affected by the hype cycle, like a lot of the other cards on this list. But yeah, I think some cards kind of took their time getting up there. Like this Vaporeon only recently it's seeing a lot of growth. I feel like, as the hype cycle continues into modern, a lot of, investors are like, you know what, I'm kind of sick of modern. Maybe I'll go back and buy some cooler stuff that's a bit older that I remember having, or things that are just coveted. I think Gold Stars in general are just, they're kind of coveted by the entire community, even though a lot of people weren't into Pokemon at this period. And I was into Pokemon during Gen 3, like those are the games that got me in, but I wasn't necessarily super into the trading card game at that time. I really only got into it, I want to say Diamond and Pearl and Black and White is when I got into Pokemon cards. I have a few Ruby and Sapphire era cards and even packs, because I save pack art. I'm the weirdo that saves all my pack art for like packs I open. So if I go through there, I can definitely find some, like, I don't know if I'd be able to find Ruby and Sapphire, but I can find some Diamond and Pearl, Platinum era stuff. So yeah, really, really nostalgic for a lot of people as well. But even then, Pokemon wasn't super popular, so a lot of people didn't even know these Gold Stars existed too, because they're pretty hard to pull. Which kind of adds a bit of allure to them, They're very, very cool. They're very, unique. They're shiny, which, kind of adds to that hunting aspect. I feel like we love hunting shinies. Even just in the video games, you'll see people live stream, like, for hours on end, shiny hunting. And this I think is just as cool. One of my favorites here, we have the Mew. So this one is a Delta species. So if you don't know, Delta species was kind of another, gimmick they had where they changed the type of the Pokemon. I think kind of based on how it looks. Because obviously shiny Mew in the games does not turn into a water type, right? But just because the shiny Mew is blue, they made it a water type, which I think is pretty cool. Definitely, kind of makes sense if you were a kid back then and you're like, whoa, this Mew is blue, and so it's water type. Very, very fun gimmick. Almost like Terra you know, back in the day. Except they didn't have the stupid hats. Except there were no hats. This Mew has seen pretty good growth. Looks like it's kind of dipping actually instead of going up. Although again, it is still kind of still reaching all-time highs even at this dip. So ultimately, it doesn't matter too much. Honestly, this is one I would probably still consider picking up even at $600. If I really wanted it. The problem is that a lot of these, if you're getting them ungraded, are going to be kind of really beat up. Because even if you just get them graded and they get a 7 or an 8, you're still making a lot of profit on it, so you might as well get them graded. That's the problem you're going to face if you do want to collect these in a better condition, not necessarily PSA 10. That's out of reach for a lot of people, but if you want them in like somewhat decent condition, like, you know, not ran through the washing machine or something, you might have to pay a bit of a premium for sure. Next, we have Latios Gold Star. This is one of my favorite ones. Yeah, I love the pose he's doing. Latios and Latios, you know, one of my favorite Pokemons. So this is a certified banger. And a PSA 10 is just, yeah, that's a lot of money. Wow, it hit 20K at some point? Is that a real sale? Is that a confirmed sale? And I'm sure in Japanese it's probably a little less expensive, but again, if you want to buy Gold Stars, actually Japanese might not be a bad alternative, to be honest, just because they're gonna be a bit cheaper. Next, you have Mewtwo from Holland Phantoms. This is one of my favorite Gold Stars as well. Pose is really, really awesome. Maybe a bit of a missed opportunity to not make it a Delta species. He could have been like a electric type. I could see that, you know, because shiny Mewtwo is like kind of yellowish. But yeah, really, really good looking card. Looks like it's reaching all-time highs again, as with most of these. Sorry. Shiny Gyarados. Now this is a Delta species that totally makes sense. We got Fire type. Really, really fun looking card. Wow. So even just based on the like medium play to heavy play, people are paying upwards of $1,000 for it. And obviously, I'm guessing if I click on this link, it's going to be like kind of beat up. Yeah, like it has a huge bend in it, and even that is like $360. That's insane. Yeah, look at these creases and everything. But hey, that's how coveted these Gold Star cards are, and just based on the slight quality differences, they can range from like $300 to over $1,000. Let's take a look at this one, this condition. Yeah, it's not like this one is in perfect condition either. Is it definitely like, you know, heavily played? There's a lot of whitening on the edges. Looks like there's some kind of, is that dirt or something? I would honestly try and get this card cleaned if you can. It looks like there's just grime and stuff on it. But God, what striking artwork. Looks so sick. Yeah, this is beautiful. It looks like PSA 10, $18,000. Wow. Yeah, that's insane. That's more of a recent sale. Back in 2021, these are only $11,000. Only $11,000. Maybe Gold Stars are one of the better investments, honestly. Maybe not right now, like they're all seeing all-time highs. Maybe you wait a bit, but clearly, you know, there is a bit of weight that is given to Gold Star cards. There's a bit of a premium. Even back then, they were worth an insane amount in PSA 10s. Yeah, who knows? Next, we have Kyogre. This one is really good. I feel like I've never seen Kyogre in this kind of dynamic posing before. He's never made this kind of pose coming out at you. Looks like this is reaching around 860 raw. Even higher than that. I'm obviously, you know, depending on the condition. Like let's take a look again. Oh, this one's not bad actually. I think I see like a lot of scratches, a lot of whitening, but overall, I think for me, it's just if it's not dirty and there's not like huge creases, I'm still okay with it. That might be a crease, or it's a scratch. I can't necessarily tell. But yeah, that's a cool looking card. This one, you know, obviously ton of scratching. You can see. Yeah, I mean, most of us didn't really take care of our cards back then, like that seriously. So even if you did have them. Whitening on the back is really good, though. It's just the front that's super scratched up, unfortunately. But yeah, still $900. Guys, if you have any Gold Stars in your collection, make sure to just check them out. See what condition they are. You could even get them graded, and even if they grade like a 7 or an 8, you'll be golden. Literally. Next, we have Latios Gold Star. This one is really, really fun, too. I think that I like the Latios a bit more, but I'm surprised. I think this one is more expensive. Next we have Trico Gold Star. This one is really cool. The pose is just super fun. I'm guessing this may be a little bit harder to pull, or maybe Team Rocket Returns wasn't printed as much. Because this one is very expensive in comparison to how popular I think Trico kind of is. Like, I mean, Trico's popular, but I don't think he's like the most popular Pokemon compared to Latios. I don't know about that. But yeah, again, really, really fun art. I think this shiny looks really good. Torchic, one of the most expensive ones. Extremely hard to find in a PSA 10. If you know, you know. Yeah, these have sold for absolutely ridiculous amounts. Looks like there aren't even any recently sold ones on eBay. Yeah, finding this in a PSA 10 is probably going to be near impossible. Just to see, what is the population of the PSA 10? Looks like there are 19 in the world. Most recent price is $25,000. Absolutely insane. Only 19 10s. And you know those 19 10s are going to be like the oldest certifications ever. Yeah, very, very cool card. Very iconic card. I think Torchic, one of the more popular starters from Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. And then we have Mudkip, my personal favorite. Quick question: why isn't this Mudkip shiny? Is that a stupid question? Isn't shiny Mudkip like pink? Did they change his shiny? Wait, the Mudkip Gold Star is unique because it depicts a Mudkip that is not fully shiny. The tail and underside of the Mudkip are the yellow color of a shiny. The main body retains the blue coloration of a regular Mudkip. This is an intentional design choice by the artist, who explained the blue is meant to represent the color of the Mudkip in deep water. Oh, and the tail being yellow is supposed to signify the shiny. Interesting. I don't know if that's how light works underwater, but that is an interesting choice. Okay, so I guess Mudkip maybe is like the only Gold Star card that isn't technically quote unquote fully shiny, because it's not like pink. Because I think that is the actual shiny color of a Mudkip. Regardless, still very interesting. Over 1.7k raw. And some sold for over $2,000. Yeah, you're like, if you're ever trying to complete a Gold Star collection, I would just give up now. It's probably not going to happen, unfortunately, especially with these recent prices. Now, this might just be a fad. It's really only come up in price in like the last few months, which is absolutely insane to me. Like, if we go back to 2024, just a year ago, it's only around $500. I'm not sure if this is, due to just the huge influx of new people in the hobby, and so they're kind of going back and buying these older cards, and if they're actually going to hold on to them and keep them. We could definitely see some sort of reverse on these cards. So I wouldn't be dropping, 2 bands on a Gold Star Mudkip just yet. Maybe just hold off a bit. It looks like that it feels like we're in an insane hype cycle. This is absolutely crazy. I don't know what's going on with these prices. Next we have Charizard Gold Star. Now this is just one of the best ones ever created. Delta species as well, obviously. Dark type. Just absolutely insane art. I love this like gold border. It looks regal. The black and the gold and the red. It's just such a good colorway. Again, PSA 10 price is practically unattainable for most of us mortals. But at Raw, it's actually not the worst price. It looks like you're going to have to settle for like a heavily played copy if you want something even in the realm of of like decent. Dude, even beat. Oh my god, this thing went through the washing machine. This was kicked on, spit on, thrown in the trash, and it still sold for over $1,000. Was the best offer what? Yeah, 1,200, dude. This is absolutely insane. You could probably grade this a PSA 1 and you might actually get some sort of premium on it. Yeah, this is insane, man. Like, guys, if you have any of these cards lying around, even if they're beat up, I would tell you probably sell them soon. Or, just hold on to them. Just hold on if you want to as well. But like, yeah, this is life-changing money. If you have some of these just kind of laying around, definitely take a look at them. See what condition they're in. That's crazy. That is insane to me. Next we have Pikachu Gold Star. Really, really fun. He's he's looking swagged out. This one is upwards of $2,000 raw. This one sold for under 1,000. Interestingly. Oh, okay. This is a. Oh no, this is an English one. I think the condition of the card is just it's gonna change. How much people are paying for it. But this one has a huge crease in it. Jesus. I don't know. I'll be honest, I think right now it might be a bad time to be buying gold stars just because it looks like there's huge fluctuations in prices. Like, I don't know, 900 to 1300, then to 2000 and to 3000. Obviously, these are not all the same condition, but yeah, it's crazy to me. But regardless, yeah, absolutely insane card. Again, seeing all-time highs. I do think this is probably bound for a crash. That's just my opinion. Maybe they're going to keep skyrocketing forever, but I don't know. Some part of me just is kind of doubting that. Next, we have my personal favorite gold star, and that is the Espeon. I love Espeon shiny. It's this beautiful green. I know a lot of people hate it. They just don't like green. Green is my personal favorite color, and Espeon is my favorite evolution, so I just love how this looks. I've always wanted this card, but it's kind of always been expensive. So I don't know if I'm ever going to get it. Obviously, again, in a PSA 10, pretty expensive. Umbreon, Gold Star. This one is super sick. Not my favorite one. I'm not a huge fan of this kind of take on an Umbreon shiny, just because I like the really vibrant blue that the regular Umbreon shiny has. This one's a little more muted, which is not my vibe, but still very, very popular. Now, this actually got reprinted in Celebrations, if you don't know. So in Celebrations, it looks like this. It's basically the same thing, but it has a stamp right there. And in a PSA 10, around $300, but still relatively cheap. So if you are looking to kind of start a mini Gold Star collection, I think this Umbreon is a good place to start. And while we're here, we might as well go over the Greninja as well, which is a promo that comes within the ETBs itself. And I don't think buying the ETBs are a bad idea right now, especially since we are nearing towards the 30th anniversary. Once we hit the 30th anniversary in 2026, I do have a feeling that Pokemon is going to create another set that is kind of like this 30th anniversary set, like they always do, starting with the 20th. And now that we're at 30th, I'm guessing that Generations, the 20th anniversary set, is probably gonna pop off, and so is Celebrations, the 25th. I'm curious what they'll call it, but I would love to see another Gold Star card. I think that would be kind of cool to see the 30th. I wonder what they would make a Gold Star of. Greninja makes sense because that was a very popular Pokemon. It has a very, very unique shiny, and I guess it's almost like a Delta species card because it's a dark type. I guess they don't specify that here, but this is definitely like a Delta species kind of vibe. I think, okay, for me, it's probably Mimikyu, but I love Mimikyu. Mimikyu is just one of my favorite Pokemon. So I would kill for a Gold Star Mimikyu card. I would definitely be buying that. But I don't know. I'm not sure what they could kind of make that would fit the Gold Star vibe. But anyway, yeah, Umbreon is the second, most expensive one. And obviously on top is the Gold Star Rayquaza. Absolutely insane. I had the pleasure of seeing one of these in person a few weeks ago at a card show. And yeah, it's one of the most iconic cards, I think. Just the way he's like circling around. I'm surprised they didn't make it a Delta species and make it a dark type like the other ones. I think that would have added a lot, but they kind of kept that flying type, to it. So it is what it is. But yeah, it looks absolutely insane. Looks like you're going to have to pay upwards of probably $4,000 to $5,000, depending on the condition again. So like a really heavily paid one, you could, I guess, pay only $1,400, or around like $2,000, right? Let's look at the pictures of some of these. Okay, all of these are just. Oh, here we go. This one sold for around $4,000. Honestly, not the worst condition. Looks like a few creases on the bottom, a lot of whitening on the back. Oh, that's unfortunate, dude. The Rayquaza's head is like scraped off. That kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, this one is really good. Hold on. I mean, it's a lot of whitening, but the Pokemon itself looks pretty clean. Is that maybe one crease there? I can see this getting like a 5 or a 6 even. I don't know if that increases the grade by that much, but if even a 7 gives you a 11K, I mean, that's just absolutely insane. But yeah, All in all, do I think gold stars are worth buying right now? I would say no. It looks like there's a huge renewed interest into them. A lot of people are buying into them. Maybe hold off for now. Wait for a better opportunity in the future when the market cools off and a lot of money moves out of gold stars and people kind of sell them off. But I think they're super iconic. And if you want to buy into gold stars, maybe buy into the Umbreon and the Greninja one from Celebrations. They could see some new growth with the 30th coming around. And I'm curious to see if they're going to bring back gold stars in any kind of meaningful way as a callback. But who knows? I guess we'll have to see. That's going to be the video, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.